Welcome back, everybody, to That's DPI. I'm Zach, and that's Tyler over there. And we are here for the 10th episode. We're so excited. We finally hit double digits. So, welcome to our 10th episode. We have a lot of exciting stuff to cover today. And the first of which is going to be some breaking news. And who else to give us breaking stadium news but our resident stadium expert, Tyler Kirkhart? Go ahead. What breaking stadium news does That's DPI have to report today?
Appreciate it, Zach. We actually have breaking news for both the Kansas City Chiefs and the Chicago Bears. Friday morning, the Chicago Tribune and the Daily Herald have announced that the Bears organization is shifting their focus back to Arlington Heights for a brand new stadium. This is after previously going to the idea that they're going to have a brand new stadium right along Lake Michigan, whether that be a new location or heavily renovating Soldier Field. But it looks like the Bears are going back to the suburbs with Arlington Heights. It's going to be a domed stadium. A lot of Bears Twitter and experts within the Bears organization is predicting that that stadium will open in 2028. So something to be on the lookout is some renderings, some new information about how that whole district is going to be. It's not just going to be a stadium, it's going to be a massive district for the Chicago Bears in Arlington Heights, Illinois. The state of Missouri has also done stuff with the Kansas City Chiefs. There was a bill in the Missouri House of Representatives to help fund it's actually about the Royals, but it does impact the Chiefs as well. The bill was to bring in Missouri funds to help fund a new Royals and inevitably Chiefs stadium. It passed the House. The Missouri governor was very much in support of this. He was one that really got this bill going, got through the House, but it stalled in the Senate. It failed. And so, what that means is that the Kansas City Royals are almost certainly going to leave, which leaves two options for the Chiefs. They can either rebuild because if they aren't funding the Royals, I'd be shocked if they fund the Chiefs. And so the Chiefs can either get the renovations that they asked for already, that Jackson County has already rejected. They can rebuild where current Kauffman Stadium is because the Royals are all but gone now, or they can follow the Royals to Kansas, and the Kansas legislature has already passed and approved a bill funding, I think, if I'm not mistaken, up to $2 billion for the stadium. If I'm not mistaken, it may not be quite that high, but it's way higher than anything that Missouri has voted upon. So the Royals are all but gone out of Missouri, and it's looking like the Chiefs could very easily follow.
Yeah, it sounds like
Other
Kansas
teams
really
that
wants to make a move to acquire a Super Bowl, a perennial Super Bowl champion football team to bring in revenue for
Oh,
their state.
absolutely. And it would be so good for Kansas because that's revenue for the state of Kansas. You would be bringing the Chiefs into a state that has legalized sports betting. The state of Missouri has voted to legalize sports betting, but Jefferson City, Missouri has yet to actually put it in, despite the citizens of Missouri voting in favor of legalized sports betting.
I
So it
was
would
one
be
of those
a
citizens.
more revenue. Yeah, you were one of them. I think it was 55% of people in Missouri voted in favor of sports betting. So that's more revenue that the Chiefs and Royals are missing out on by staying where they currently are. Other teams that are for sure about to get a new facelift, the Jacksonville Jaguars after this year are going to start slowly renovating their stadium. Here in a couple years, I think they're going to be at only like 25 or 30% capacity here in a couple years. And then they're going to find a new place to play for a year before coming back to their original stadium with a brand new facelift. And the Buffalo Bills are currently in their final year at Highmark Stadium. The classic 90s Bills were there in this same stadium. This is going to be the final year before they move next door to the new Highmark Stadium. And Zach, you and I are pretty excited about that Bills Stadium, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, final year for an iconic outdoor NFL
Mhm.
venue that will be pretty much hanging up the cleats here following this season. So, one thing that we're excited to bring you guys is a That's DPI on location episode at Highmark Stadium in Buffalo, documenting a game amongst Bills Mafia and in the final season of that stadium's operation lifetime. So that game will be week 11 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, of course, in Buffalo. And that is not the only That's DPI on location episode that we will be doing. We will also be doing a week 6 matchup at Arrowhead Stadium where the two teams that both hosts of That's DPI support will be playing each other. The Detroit Lions come to town to play the Chiefs in Arrowhead on week 6. So, Tyler, what on earth does a That's DPI on location episode even look like? What are we going to be doing? And what can fans expect from some in person analysis of these games?
So for the Buffalo Bills trip, you can expect probably a montage of all of the things that we're going to be doing. We're going to be trying buffalo wings in the city where it originated.
Of course.
We're going to be interacting with Bills fans in the parking lot. We're really going to be part of the Bills Mafia that game. When we were looking at the schedule, I told Zach, no matter what, we're not going to the Chiefs Bills game. I love going to new stadiums. I've been to 11 NFL stadiums so far, and I really like going to be a part of the home atmosphere. I rank my stadiums, and a big part of my ranking is ranking the home atmosphere. So feeling like it's part of it, being part of the Bills Mafia is going to be so much fun. And for the week 6 game, that Chiefs Lions game, I'm currently in talks with the Kansas City Chiefs to have a live post game episode from inside the stadium. I'm an employee at Arrowhead. Zach, of course, being a fan, we're going to have a montage of what a day in our fandom is like. And then, like I said, we're in talks with the Chiefs to have a live episode post game from inside Arrowhead Stadium.
I mean, we are so pumped to bring both of those games to you guys, week 6 and week 11. I know we've kind of teased it a little bit during the last episode and some of the draft coverage, but we have now, with the schedule release this past Wednesday, have been able to narrow down exactly which games we can cover live for you guys. But speaking of the schedule release, there's a lot of exciting games on the docket. And Tyler and I wanted to give you our top 5 most exciting matchups of this upcoming season that were produced from this past schedule release. So I can go ahead and jump into my top 5. Go down the list. I tried not to make it all Lions games, although I very much could have. We have a lot of fun Lions games. Um,
Zach said my favorite games: week 1 Lions, week 2 Lions, week 3.
It was very nearly that, but I had to show some self restraint, meter myself a little bit, and I did not put the 2 games that we were attending. Although am very much anticipating those as well. But my number 5 game on my list is the Lions at Commanders divisional round rematch. Lions should be healthy for this matchup. You got to expect a revenge factor. We all know what happened in Dallas last year when the Lions got revenge for the ref debauchery that happened in 2023. It was a shellacking. And so a healthy Detroit Lions team traveling to face Jaden Daniels will be cinema, and you won't want to miss that one. So that's number 5. Number 4 is Bengals at Bills. Um, Gotta love an AFC offensive powerhouse matchup between two of the basically the number 2 and number 3 team in the AFC, behind Kansas City. I know the Bengals missed the playoffs last year, but they are a force to be reckoned with. One of the only AFC teams to reach a Super Bowl in the Mahomes era, besides the Chiefs. So you have to wonder, um, are they going to be able to ever return to that form? And if they can return to that form, can they beat regular season Josh Allen? Something that even Patrick Mahomes has struggled to do. So must see TV for number 4. Number 3, definitely a little bit of a dark horse candidate, is Patriots at Titans. Mike Vrabel, revenge game. Cam Ward, rookie, versus Drake May, 2 of the hottest young quarterbacks in football facing each other, and Mike Vrabel facing his former team, a team that just cut him loose after what was seemingly a fairly successful head coaching tenure. It's just something that I would love to tune into. It's not a primetime game. The Titans currently have 0 primetime games, but I will be looking forward to that Patriots-Titans matchup. Number 2 is Commanders at Chiefs on Monday Night Football. Tyler will be in attendance at that game as he is working. Lucky Duck, he gets to see the first matchup between Jaden Daniels and Patrick Mahomes, two of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the league. Definitely one to put on your schedule. And then the final one, you know I had to do it, Tyler. It's Lions Eagles. Come on, I got to put a Lions game at number 1. The NFC playoff
There it is.
matchup we were robbed from. If the Lions were healthy, I imagine they would have beat the Commanders, and I imagine they would have gone on to play the Philadelphia Eagles at Ford Field for a chance at the Super Bowl. And I would have loved to see how that game turns out. Both teams have made some changes, but we're still going to get to see Dan Campbell versus Nick Sirianni and Jared Goff versus Jalen Hurts and those phenomenal offensive and defensive lines. But that rounds out my list. Tyler,
Mm.
any games that you agree with there, or are we going to go entirely different top 5 slate?
Well, first I had to restrain myself from interrupting your number 3 with Patriots and Titans. I see where you're going with the storyline, but I do think Cam Ward will be solid, but I don't think the Patriots are going to be that good. I love the hire of Mike Vrabel, love the storyline, Vrabel versus former team, but when we're talking about just good football, I don't think we're going to get it. I don't think we're going to get good football. I think it's going to be like high school JV football. It's like, all right, cool. You know, evenly matched, I guess, but this is not good football. So I struggle to put that in my top 5. Everything else, I mean, I kind of disagree with a little bit of the order, but all of those are definitely debatable. Lions Commanders, a not only a rematch, but a massive upset, a 6-1 upset last year by a rookie quarterback. Revenge game for them. That's huge. Commanders Chiefs. I don't have it in my top 5, but I do think that's going to be a good game. Lions Eagles. I fully understand why you put that. At the very least, they were the best 2 teams in the NFC last year, record wise for sure. I don't hate your list though, Zach. But my number 5 is starting off with my team, Chiefs at Cowboys. This is on Thanksgiving. I have always wanted to watch the Chiefs play on Thanksgiving. Every year I've seen like the Cowboys play mediocre football on Thanksgiving. I've seen the Lions play mediocre football on Thanksgiving up until the last couple years.
It's
And I'm
still
like,
mediocre on Thanksgiving.
when do I, right? Depending on the moon phase.
Right?
Uh, and so I've always thought for the context for the viewers that are not massively in depth with everything on Twitter and football knowledge, there is a statistic that when the Lions play on Thanksgiving Day, while there is a waning gibbous moon, they are like 0 and 12. And it's this wild stat about the moon phase. But there is a crescent moon this Thanksgiving. So Detroit should be okay this Thanksgiving. But the Chiefs and Cowboys, I am excited for on Thanksgiving. That's the game I'm most excited for. I finally get to watch my Chiefs on Thanksgiving, and I would love to spoil Thanksgiving dinner for Jerry Jones. I would absolutely love it. Number 4, Zach, I've got at your team. I've got Lions at Eagles. Like you said, the NFC Championship uh, that we were deprived of. I think that would have been a great game for the NFL. I think it would have been a lot better than the way the Eagles Commanders game turned out. I think it would have been an extremely close game. It would have been a rockin' Ford Field. And even though it's in Philadelphia, we kind of get a glimpse at what we could have seen last year. This, for number 3, is a battle of the MVP candidates. I've got Ravens at Bills on Sunday night, super early in the season too. The NFL schedule makers wanted to make sure that there was no chance of any of these quarterbacks getting injured. They want to see Jackson versus Allen. We're gonna get that on Sunday Night Football very early in the season. I'm so excited for that, just to watch it. My number 2, I've got to go back to my team. It's an AFC Championship rematch. It is Chiefs at Bills. It's not a primetime game, but Chiefs and Bills never seem to be a primetime matchup when it's in Buffalo. Patrick Mahomes, not in a playoff situation. I believe this is going to be Patrick Mahomes' second time playing in Buffalo for a regular season game. The last few years of regular season matchups have not been prime time, so I'm not shocked that this is not prime time either. But nonetheless, Chiefs, Bills, Mahomes, and Allen, it's going to be an instant classic. We're really starting to see a Brady versus Manning uh, scenario with Mahomes and Allen. That's going to be a great game. AFC Championship rematch, and probably a preview of what the postseason is going to look like once again. And then my number one game for the NFL is game number one. It is Cowboys at Eagles. That is currently, statistically speaking, the most expensive ticket in the NFL right now. The average ticket for that game is higher than the average of any other game throughout the rest of the season. It's banner night for the Eagles. Congrats to the Eagles. You guys won, but it is banner night. It's a very exciting night. It's against the Cowboys. It's a historic and heated rivalry as well. So, and I think it's going to be a good game. Weirdly enough, I think it's going to be a good game. Anything can happen in a rivalry game.
Yeah, and I don't think that you could have picked a better game to start the season off. Division rivalry, banner night for the Eagles. I mean, of course, it's banner night. It has to be. But to make that the
Mhm.
Cowboys, one of the most popular teams in football, I mean, and with a chance to upset their division rival, I mean, the pure unadulterated hatred that will occur in the stands of that game, I think it's going to be akin to some college football rivalries, which the NFL is accused of not having as passionate of rivalries. If you have the money, attend this game, and you'll see more passionate rivalry than in all of sports, really, in my opinion. So, what a great game! I like your list a lot. Of course, you have the most anticipated game on my list there at number 4, Lions Eagles, and the Chiefs Bills isn't a prime time because there's no way that CBS is ever giving up that game. It is probably number 1 on their
No,
list of
for real.
games they need to protect. It's probably the most watched 4:25 Eastern PM time slot game every season. It is the number 1 in ratings. So why on earth would they give that up? I don't hate sitting
Hmm.
down at the dinner table right around the fourth quarter of that game um, to watch the conclusion of what is always a phenomenal matchup.